Alright guys, well, as you can see, I have been working on this copper axe. Over there's the handle, somewhat. And I just basically broke this bus off. I scored it and then broke it. It was much too long, as you can see. I didn't need it to be that long. And maybe later on I'll make a really nice copper arrowhead out of this or something. Or possibly maybe copper adze. But for right now, I'm going to get this out of here. There we go, we got it to focus. Now, I have been hammering on this with a ball peen hammer. Hammering on copper hardens it. And let me see if I can get this flash off. Hold on. So, here it is. And you can see the hammer marks where I've been hammering it with a ball peen hammer. And I just took it down here to the concrete and basically just held it with one hand and like so. Used my hand instead of my shoe though. And that's how I got it to shape like an axe head. Otzi's axe was, his axe head was it was melted and poured into a form, and the sides kind of came up on it like an I-beam. So I basically tried to do that by hitting it on the sides. I tried to make it shaped at least the same. Obviously it's going to be a little bit smaller than Otzi's axe, but it is a copper axe nonetheless. So there's the head. And here is the handle. Now the design that I'm doing is sort of like a splice, and I don't know if this is going to work. Worst comes to worst, I can just cut it off here if it doesn't work and insert the axe head into here, but I'd like to make it as close to Otzi's as I can. So I'm making it a two-piece design. I should have just found a tree that grew like this, but I'm trying to use up some of these white oak bow staves that I cut down a white oak log, and it ended up being real twisted. It fooled me. So I'm trying to use some of it up. So I've basically made a splice here that goes together like this. There we go. And now I've marked out the copper, how wide it is on the end there. And I'm going to take a saw, cut that, and then fit the axe head into it, probably about that far. So hopefully at the end of everything I'll have something that looks kind of like that. Oh, there is one side cut down. Now I just got to get the other one. So I'm going at her. Okay, well, there we have it. I basically just cut two lines down, there and there, and then I just kind of like made X's, and just, it was kind of a pain in the butt, but I did it all with a hand saw. I'm doing all of this with hand tools, no motorized tools. The whole build, start to finish. None of it's put together, that's just dry fitted. The axe head's a little loose in there, but I'm gonna use pine pitch glue and try to haft everything together with pine pitch. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, well, what I ended up doing was taking a piece of leather, wrapping it around the copper, and jamming it in there, and I mean it's in there tight. And then I just flipped it over and hit it on the backside with a hammer, and it just wedged itself right up in there, just like you would set an axe head. Original axe, and it had binding wrapped all the way around the wooden part of the head right up to the metal, so that's what I'm going to do. I also have some backstrap sinew that I'm going to use, and I also have some pine pitch glue in here. Alright, I used my pine pitch and basically dripped it all in there real good, and I'm going to let that dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to wrap that whole head with a binding of leather thong, and this part of it should be done. Hey, well, there's my rendition of the head of Otzi the Iceman's axe, wrapped with leather thongs and copper, pine pitch, all natural materials. Now I've just got to seat it into the handle like that, and then it will at least look like Otzi's axe. Okay, well, here's Otzi's axe. And basically, I'm probably going to have to take some modern stuff and glue it, the joint together. Otzi's axe wasn't like that. It wasn't two pieces. He found a tree with a limb growing out the side, and I believe that's how he made it. But this is what it looked like. So I can either do one of two things. I can glue that at the joint there, or I can just scrap this whole thing, pull the copper head out, and go find a tree that fits it. But I think I'm just going to glue it because I think it's going to work. All I got to do is rough the bow out with this. But there's an Otzi. Sorry, guys. Like I said, there's an Otzi the Iceman axe. Copper axe. All right, I'll see you guys in the next part. I'm going to start working down the U-stave here. And I hope you guys are enjoying. Please subscribe.